I successfully practiced NoFap and then semen retention for 3 whole years. And by practicing both of these methods, I was able to transform myself from an insecure individual to a confident individual. Now, because I practiced both methods for so long, I was able to get a unique perspective on the pros and the cons of NoFap and semen retention that I don't see many people talking about. So if you're wondering which one you should try, or you're practicing one and possibly thinking about switching for the other, you're in the right place because this is the video for you. And you're going to want to watch till the end, where I'll definitively tell you which method you should be practicing for the best possible results. So first, let's talk about the difference between NoFap and semen retention, and why most of these practices have basically blown up in recent years. You see, NoFap is all about quitting porn and masturbation. Its entire purpose is to help you break addictive behaviors and ultimately regain control of your sexual urges. The idea is that by eliminating those distractions, you can sharpen your focus, boost your confidence, and reclaim your mental clarity. Semen retention, though, on the other hand, goes a step further. It's not just about avoiding porn and masturbation. It's about holding back from ejaculation entirely, even during sex. In fact, if you're practicing semen retention, I honestly recommend you put girls on the back burner and just focus on improving your own life. The whole goal of semen retention is to conserve your sexual energy and to redirect it into areas of your life where you want to grow. Whether that's your career, fitness, or personal development. Both of these practices are rooted in the idea that self-discipline around your sexual habits leads to greater productivity, mental clarity, and most importantly, emotional control. But the key difference here is that NoFap is about cutting out things that can distract and derail you, like porn for instance, while semen retention is about taking full ownership of your sexual energy and being super intentional about how you choose to use it. Personally for me, when I first started NoFap, my only goal was to break my porn addiction. But as the months continued to go by and I kept practicing, I started to actually experience the benefits of NoFap, and something in me changed because I started to consciously redirect the excess sexual energy I was experiencing from not fapping towards achieving things I wanted in my life. I started consistently hitting the gym. I started actually giving a fuck about my life and taking it seriously. Without even realizing it, I naturally started practicing semen retention. And for the next 2 years, I was literally able to go from being basically a fuck up in my life to being in the driver's seat of my life. Now, if you have any brief questions, put them in the comments below. And if you're really serious and you want me to personally help you out with any issues you might be experiencing in your life, sign up for one-on-one coaching with me. Also, make sure to download my free ebook that I made to specifically help you navigate and understand the 10 secret stages of success you'll 100% be going through on the way to achieving goals like this one. You can find the links to both of these in the description and the pinned comment down below. Now that we got the differences out of the way, it's time to talk about the fun stuff, the amazing benefits that come when successfully practicing NoFap and semen retention. In my opinion, the whole reason this movement has gained so much traction in the first place is because of the amazing benefits. So first, let's talk about NoFap. And just going off scientific studies and personal testimonials, cutting out porn can lead to reduced and sometimes non-existent brain fog, decreased rates of anxiety, improved sexual health, and a lot more. On top of this, many men who practice or practice NoFap report higher motivation, better productivity, more self-confidence, and improved relationships. And now going on to semen retention, as you might have expected, the benefits get even better. Because as we previously established, practicing semen retention allows you to channel that excess sexual energy into other areas of your life. Some experts believe that this practice can actually lead to increased physical vitality and stronger mental resilience. You also might notice higher energy levels, more discipline, and even a stronger drive to tackle long-term goals. So if you have trouble sticking to your long-term goals, or if you have trouble following through on the things you want to do, if you practice semen retention, it's going to be a lot easier to do those things. Men who practice semen retention often claim they feel more in control of their emotions and they have an inner sense of purpose. And to be honest, I'm living proof here because this is exactly what happened to me on NoFap and semen retention. I mean, while practicing, I specifically remember as a core memory the almost immediate confidence boost you get. I don't know about you guys, but when I first started, I was not confident at all. And feeling that sense of confidence was completely new to me. At that point in time, I was pretty much a nervous wreck when put into new situations and pretty anxious wherever I went. But that's not even all of it. Along with the increased confidence, also came clear-mindedness and decreased anxiety, which I believe is honestly what helped me start looking at the things I was doing in my life that were fucking me over. And once I was able to clearly see what was fucking me over, I also saw what I needed to do to fix it. And that's exactly what I did. I honestly think one of the craziest benefits or experiences I had on it though, was being able to project my sexual energy onto other people and also feel other people's sexual energies as well. And yeah, I know it sounds crazy, and I obviously can't prove it to you guys, but I literally feel like I could tell if a girl I was talking to was attracted to me or into me. And like I said, I know it sounds crazy. I actually talk about more of this experience in this video if you want to check it out. So we've talked about the benefits, but now it's time to talk about the downsides of NoFap and semen retention. So starting with NoFap, one common challenge that you probably will experience is that it will create a lot of pressure. You see, the NoFap community seems to be really big on the concept of keeping a streak while practicing. And what this looks like is you basically counting the days since you last fapped. This sounds fun in practice, but one downside that comes with this is if you slip up, and if you're new to this, you probably will slip up a couple times before you become successful at it. Well, if you slip up, you're probably gonna feel like a colossal failure. I mean, just imagine successfully practicing NoFap for over 200 days, and then you relapse, back to day 0. Yeah, doing this can create a lot of pressure to not break the streak. And if it is broken, it will often lead to guilt, shame, and probably a lot of binge sessions of porn. This is why, as you might have realized by now, I'm personally against counting the days. Experts also warn that while NoFap can help with addiction, it's important to focus on balance and not shame when it comes to sexuality, which practicing NoFap for extended periods of time can definitely cause. And this is something that I personally experienced after practicing 3 years, which I talk about more in this video here. Because of these few reasons I've mentioned and others, NoFap can actually end up being more stressful than helpful for some men. Because for some men, NoFap will only bring self-criticism instead of self-improvement. And this self-criticism is fueled by the constant cycles of watching porn then not watching porn, successfully practicing for a couple of days then not successfully practicing. It just goes on and on for a lot of people who start practicing NoFap. As for semen retention, while some people swear by it, others find it mentally draining and physically exhausting. I mean, just think about it. If you're new to this, the thought of retaining for more than a month without fapping is probably insane to you. Well, on semen retention, people go months, if not years, without fapping, which is why retaining semen retention for too long can oftentimes lead to discomfort, frustration, or even anxiety, especially if you don't have multiple outlets to channel that excess sexual energy into, which in my opinion is a necessity if you're planning to practice semen retention. If you don't do this, you'll probably relapse very quickly, and that relapse will not be fun. On top of this, scientists struggle with agreeing about how effective semen retention actually is, with some people arguing that there's actually no substantial scientific evidence for it at all, and that the concept for holding back your seed for extended periods of time is not supported. In fact, some sexual coaches will tell you that actually masturbating and ejaculating often is actually healthy. So now that you've actually heard about the benefits and the downsides of NoFap and semen retention, if the downsides didn't turn you off, well then the only logical question is which one should you choose? And that answer is really going to come down to your own personal goals and where you are in life. Because if right now you're struggling with a porn addiction and you're just looking to break that addiction, or you feel that excessive masturbation is negatively affecting your life, NoFap will 100% help you regain control of your sexual habits and reset your sexual urges. On the other hand, if you're looking to take things a little further, if you're not just looking to improve your sexual urges, but also improve other aspects of your life and use that excess sexual energy to redirect your focus into more positive outlets that will help get you there, semen retention is 100% the one for you. What I do recommend you start on though is NoFap. I mean, if you think about it, semen retention really is the more advanced form of NoFap, and there's no way you're going to be able to practice semen retention effectively if you can't even master NoFap. Also, if you have a girlfriend, you're sexually active, or you're planning to be sexually active, semen retention is going to be very hard, almost impossible to practice effectively. So if you're not okay with being temporarily abstinent to focus on improving your goals, NoFap is definitely the one for you. Just know that NoFap and semen retention are not magic pills. They're not going to solve all your problems instantly. Both require massive amounts of self-discipline and willpower. But if you're willing to put in the work and use them effectively, they will 100% help you level up in your life. I'm living proof of it. And if you're wondering how you're going to successfully navigate your NoFap journey, your next step is to watch this video, where I show you how to survive and successfully navigate the 4 secret phases of NoFap.